Hi and welcome. So, a lot of us go into, with all of our intention, into what we perceive as a new year with resolutions in tow. So, what are resolutions really? And we have been encouraged to make resolutions, but are we encouraged to keep them? And how can we succeed with them? So, most people think by just having some will be enough, that willpower will be enough to bring about what they see as their resolution. Is willpower enough? Well, I think that and in my experience, both working with myself and with my clients, is that willpower is very important, but it's only the beginning. We have to do the work every step of the way, and we need different rungs on a ladder to climb before we actually are able to fulfill these resolutions. A lot of these resolutions often have to do with health, fitness, and I see them as separate, by the way. And I'll do another elegantly raw tidbit episode explaining why I see fitness and health being separate and different, although they complement each other tremendously. So it also, but I think it's interesting that we ascribe and we really set resolutions for health, but never for healing. It's very rare that we include healing. And yet, in order to be healthy, we have to first invoke all of the magical aspects of healing. Healing happens on a cellular level. Healing happens on an emotional level. And healing takes place on a mental stage. So how do we invoke healing into our lives? First of all, we need assistance to do so. If we could all do it by ourselves, and that is possible, by the way, but if we could all, every one of us, do it by ourselves, then most of us would embark on this healing journey. However, I suggest reading books, many books, one of them being The Road Less Traveled. Why the road less traveled? Because healing is, in my opinion, the road less traveled. It's not an easy road. But wow, the outcome is just spectacular. Healing is our birthright. I think we came here to heal. I think that's why we're here on earth, and that's why we see so many opportunities for healing, but we're not taught to welcome them, nor how to welcome them. Instead, we're taught and wished to have a happy life. But what does it mean to be happy? What does happiness mean? Happiness comes from within, but yet I see this happiness we're being taught as being something external. It depends on something external. It depends on an external circumstance, an external person, an external event. And yet, real happiness can only happen internally. And it's always impermanent. It's always temporary. So what about instead focusing on healing? Healing all the wounds, all the festering wounds, healing all the unresolved issues, healing all of the blight on our characters. Healing is possible for each and every human being, and I think it is our birthright. So if we're going to be looking at resolutions and we want some guideline on how to achieve them, then I suggest healing first. Healing our belief systems, because when we embark on something new, we take our belief systems along with us, and that will sabotage us. Always, it will sabotage us. So if year after year you find yourself making resolutions and not being able to keep them, it's because you've not changed your belief systems. And our belief systems are fueled by our semantics, by our language patterns, which means we need to change our language, which is why when I work with every client, the first thing I do is I work with them on changing their language around whatever issue they've come to me to heal or to grow or to expand. I just really wish to, in every shape and form, help people to expand themselves in their own consciousness. And the only way to do that is to expand our language in turn. So we cannot expand our lives or go into an expansive consciousness with a restrictive vocabulary. That has to expand to meet and match where we wish to go. So if you find yourself using a lot of foul language in your own lives, and you wish to raise yourself to a higher vibrational frequency, it's not going to happen. You have to change the language to a higher vibrational frequency to attract all the things that you wish for yourself that operate on that higher vibrational frequency. And it has to match that particular frequency for which you're aiming as well. So one of the things that I suggest to you is working first on relanguaging yourself. And not everyone can work with somebody who does what I do. So what I'm suggesting is reading any of the books by Marshall Rosenberg, but specifically the first one he wrote on non-violent communication, or studying NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. If you can find a neuro-linguistic program teacher, I strongly suggest it. That helped me a lot when I was living in New York City, but I've always been conscious of language, always, ever since I was a child. And so it was a natural occurrence that I ended up studying NLP, and I got a degree in linguistics, and I studied Marshall Rosenberg's work, and I created actually a peace-based communication booklet. And I give that to my clients as well, because I think it's something that we always need to constantly re-explore and reinforce all the time, because language reinforces our belief systems. We don't even realize that we're doing it when we use language, but it does. So we need to begin there. If you want to keep your resolutions, you must change the language to match the frequency and the vibrancy of the resolution that you are wishing to succeed with. So join me here for more elegantly raw tidbits, and click the notification button, and please comment below so that we can have a tete-a-tete and we can inform each other. I love hearing other people's viewpoints and other people's experiences. I love hearing people's experiences. So thank you, and I look forward to more of the same with you here. Same place, same platform, same time. Monday to Fridays. Thank you.